And welcome back to the music podcast. I'm really excited because I have a very good friend of mine joining us this week who's doing incredible at the moment. We have the amazing Anton Vic joining us. We're going to jump straight in with a game of over and underrated. So we're going to get stuck in, and the guys are going to give their very honest opinion. The first artist that I am going to throw their way is Ed Sheeran.
Oh my God. That is the that is tough because he just put a song out, He's putting a new album. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people grew up listening to it. So I would say, man, I would say overrated, man. I'm gonna go overrated with this.
Overrated, Westwell.
I would say overrated for Ed Sheeran.
Franz Ferdinand.
Oh man, they fell off. Overrated too. I think so.
See, I understand the logic there. I think I'd probably have to say, I'd say underrated. I think that's
You think underrated?
They were good at the time, but I can see what you mean. They did disappear.
I don't know. Yeah, they did. They're
Tyler,
good
the
for like
creator.
Tyler the Creator. I
Underrated.
think underrated, yeah. Underrated for sure.
Bit of a different one here. Dua Lipa.
Overrated. Yeah. I gotta say, man.
I'm actually quite a big fan of the old Dua Lipa.
You actually feels damn, man.
It
It's
feels,
gonna be fun, huh?
but it feels harsh. But I think I'd have to say overrated as well.
Ah, damn.
Right, this will be a controversial one. KSI.
Damn, bro. But you mean musically or like content-wise?
Yeah, purely your music. Underrated, overrated, or rated just fine.
It's got to be overrated, I think.
Yeah, I think he's overrated. I mean, I think he's doing right. He's doing cool right now, but I don't think he's I wouldn't categorize it fully as a musician yet. But yeah, he's doing great.
Amazing. Right, we're going to dive straight in. Anton, what an amazing kind of few months you're having at the moment. It's definitely on the way.
Right, yeah.
People are buying in, mate. So I've got a few questions because I love your music. I really want to come to a live show because I've seen some footage recently and it just looks absolutely incredible. So what I want to know from yourself is what's been the defining moment of your career so far? What was the turning point? Because the people will look at you now and go, wow, Anton's doing so well. Look at the numbers, the followers, the streams. For you, does it feel like you're proud now, or do you feel like you've got a long way to go? And what's been a career defining moment for you?
I think that's a really complex question, but yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for saying all of the kind words. And I would say the defining moment, I'm yet still to find it. I think we're as musicians we carry on improving every time we put a new song out and we gig and but I guess seeing the people are connecting with the new music that I'm putting out even more in the UK and in the US, because before I used to promote in like low tier countries, which was like Latin America, like low tier Europe countries, and I used to get a lot of good feedback. But now as I'm focusing a lot on in the US and the UK for the last 2 years, I think I've seen a lot of I think I got my first headline tour booked, been played on the radio. So I think it's a step. You gotta keep pushing, and I think people are starting to notice, and that's the thing that's rewarding after doing it for quite some time. But yeah, I think that I would say
like people see the success, but they don't understand the sacrifice to get there.
they don't, man. They don't.
So what I want to know is, what's the biggest risk you've taken in your music career?
Oh
How
damn,
does
bro.
it shape where you are today?
I could literally tell you what I did this year. So
Go for it.
what I did this year. So I was speaking about this with my guitarist back then, 3 months ago. Most people will choose to get a mortgage, right, or buy a new car. What I did this year was get myself a loan. I went to the bank, I got a loan, £15,000. That's how I'm funding my project. So that was a big risk that I took this year, which is one of the things I also did was dye my hair red. In that sense, I wanted to do that too because I wanted to do it for a long time. But in a sense, it's like a lot of people say that dyeing your hair or doing something to your hair is cool because you get to change and you get to I don't know, you're like in control more or less. But I wanted to do that in correlation to my new music, putting it out. But in taking risk and being able to, go for it. So what I did this year was take that risk. I guess, I don't even know if I'll be able to pay this loan back in 4 years with the advance that I got, but all I know is that I'm putting all of my money and all my energy into work, and I think it's paying off so far. And I just gotta keep pushing with it. And to anyone that's wanting to, and if any musician is listening to this and they're hoping to get somewhere, or they're expecting for this record label to knock their doors and be like, "Hey, here's a big check. Go ahead, just do it yourselves, man." Like you could easily go to the bank. I'm not saying you have to go in debt, but if you're serious about it, I guess if you think about it, it's the same as, because technically labels give you an advance most of the
Yeah.
times, and you have to recoup it with royalties. In this sense, you'll have to pay yourself with your own time and your effort and your own money. So you have freedom in that sense. So I said, well, nobody's gonna give me a chance. I need to make my chance, and I guess I took that big risk this year. And I think I don't know, it's paying off so far. I'll see in a year time. I don't know.
The bigger the risk, the bigger reward. And I feel like it's so nice for you to come on here and be so transparent about it and be like, I wanted to do this. I'm taking this gamble. And you're very humble in terms of, okay, it's worked so far, but there's a long way to go. And I think it's amazing for musicians to hear that. So what strategy do you use, Anton, when you hear creative block, whether it's content, whether it's a song, whether it's a music video? What do you do when you hear that creative block?
I learned that in the past. I learned that if you try too hard on something, you get burnt out. I learned the hard way. So, and and we're constantly bombarded nowadays by social media, and I think people are living up to expectations that that you have to get everything done right away, or like you need to be consistent in all these things. And finding a method that works with you is the best thing you could do. In my sense, I understand that when I have a creative block, or like when I'm not able to do the type of content that I want to do in time, man, sometimes you just have to put it on the side and not move on from the idea, but get back to it in like a week or two. And if you need a break, you have to take a break, man. You're not designed to be working 7 days per week, man. And this is the ideology a lot of people are putting in their heads. And I understood that I took a long time for me to understand that, okay, bro, I don't need to work, or I don't need to, like, every single person is different. What works for them, it doesn't need to work for me. So in that sense, I guess when I'm writing a song and it doesn't work, I put it to the side and I focus on something else. Don't give up on the idea, and I get back to it fresh, and I keep working on it until I released it or whatever it is. So I guess that's how I deal with this type of stuff. Now I understand that everything, you need to have time for recreativity, being entertained, watching videos, movies, whatever it is, man. Like, you shouldn't say no. It's like when you go and work out in the gym and someone tells you, hey, you're not allowed to have chocolate, or I don't know, like, eat greasy food. You can have that once or twice a week as long as you're working out and you're doing your duty. So not priving yourself.
And it's realistic. It's going to keep you more consistent if you're doing that. It's brilliant advice. Well, what's the best piece of advice you've been given as a musician, and why has it stuck with you, Anton?
The best advice that have been given to me as a musician, I think the best advice that I received was treat everyone nicely and learn how to navigate the music industry in a sense. I think you said something to me that's to stick to myself. It was like, you said that most of the times, when you meet people, things are not meant to happen like right away. So after meeting them twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, then you build a relationship with this person, and then things are starting to, they will eventually come up. But I think you have to establish a relationship with people personally, and then after that, everything will come. Basically, be yourself. Trying to meet everyone, be grounded.
Be authentic. When I do these big talks, and Anton, you've seen me do it, I say to them in the Bernias, just pretend everyone in the music industry, especially in the music industry, has a sign on their forehead and it says, "Make me feel important." And if you go around and you make industry contacts feel important and you add value for them, later down the line, when you're having these conversations, you can ask, and that relationship's built and you can get things. So, mate, I completely agree. Now, Anton, I know you quite well now. What's one,
Yeah.
maybe a party trick or something about you that not even I would know, that the fans definitely wouldn't know about you?
A party trick, man. Damn. A party trick. I wouldn't. I don't know, man. That's a tough question. You mean like something that fans don't know about me? I guess. I don't know. I liked. I like being at home. I like being a person that likes to be in front of the PC. I don't know. I don't know. Probably game sometimes. I guess. That's what I could say. I wouldn't call myself. I don't know if I have a party trick or I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there we
Yeah.
have it. Well, we've got some questions come in for Westwell, my co-host. The first
it.
message, this is from Dan. Dan says, Tom, what is your Tesco's meal deal?
My, my Tesco's meal deal. Simple. I like a bacon sandwich, packet of Doritos. And normally I'd go for a Coca-Cola, but I've tried to give up drinking fizzy drinks. So like an oasis.
What
Nice.
was your sandwich choice?
Bacon.
Oh, so quite plain then.
Yeah.
We've got a question in here. This is from Eloise. She says, "Hi guys, been loving the podcast. I want you to ask Tom, what would his pop star alter ego be called, and what scandal would get him cancelled?"
Pop star alter ego.
And what scandal would get you cancelled?
It'd be something like super American, like Chet.
That's what would Chad get cancelled for?
Not Chad, Chet.
Sorry. Shit.
Yeah. Not Chad. No. I don't know what I would get cancelled for. I don't know.
You could pick anything that Kanye has done recently, man. You would,
Yeah.
I
I just don't want to associate myself with that.
know, dude. I'm just joking.
It'd probably be like a cryptocurrency scandal.
Oh yeah, like pulling the rug and stuff. Like hey, what's this hot tour girl did?
Yeah, I'd get a hot to it. So so Chet coin is gonna crash big time, and people know what I like say.
I need to get into
Injustice scandal. We've got a question here that says, "Hi guys, been listening to the pod on the way home. Some questionable things said last week, but can you ask the boys if they were to be arrested at a music festival, what would it most likely be for?" There's a lot of incriminating questions for you this week, Tom.
Damn, bro. They want you to go to jail, bro.
They do, don't they? Oh, well, let's be honest. It's not going to be drug use, is it? So, we get arrested at a festival.
Sneaking
have
in
that-
backstage.
I have that like. You'll know it, Josh, from times that we've been out when I just get caught up in sort of like. I'm gonna say like I get caught up in fights, and it's gonna make me sound like
That's
I'm
not a scrap.
like. No, it makes me sound like I'm scrapping, but I'll normally just be stood there, and then like the bouncers will come grab me because they think I've been the one that's been like doing it. So yeah, probably falsely accused of something like that, probably.
I could see that. You do get caught up a lot. Just like any of our listeners from Albert Road, you'll see Westwell on the streets most week, just throwing fists. I don't know what's wrong with him half the time.
Really does not happen. But nearly got thrown out a dog once because some guy accused me of throwing him over a pool table, and I was like, nope, wasn't me. Just wasn't me. I was just standing where the guy was standing. So
Damn.
yeah.
Right. Obviously we don't have Tom Fripp here this week, so I'm going to do the music news. Coachella have had some lineup additions. They've had Weezer and Ed Sheeran on. What really shocked me is literally next week. I thought it was like middle of summer, but no, it's not.
They do multiple weeks, don't they?
I think they do, yeah. But the first one is next week. Headliners Lady Gaga, Post Malone, Travis Scott, and Green Day. For that, which is obviously a massive festival over in the US. Blondie's drummer, Clem Burke, passed away at 70. I adore Blondie in the band. That was one of my favorite acts I saw a couple of years ago, which was crazy, quite, older generation, but they absolutely smashed it. Gary Barlow announces a new Take That album. I'm sure Westwell is very excited for that. And Ed Sheeran's dramatic style transformation. Fans are surprised with his new kind of emo-inspired look on Instagram, jet black hair, grey beat.
Let's have a look at this.
The new music that's coming out is, I can't pronounce it, is Islam. In terms of his return, and there's some different collaborations in there for him. I don't know if the music is emo inspired. I don't know, Anton. Would you agree with that? I've not heard that too well, but
Who are we talking about?
Ed Sheeran's new album.
Oh no way, no emo at all. I mean, he did put a song out with what was it? Bring Me the Horizon, and that was kind of like different, but I wouldn't say emo at all. No, it didn't sound emo. The song that he put out, you wouldn't call it like that, right?
No, I wouldn't say so.
No.
I think he's definitely trying a different sound, but I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, we're gonna move on to Tom Westwell's quiz. For me, is it me versus Anton this week? How's it work?
No. So we're gonna do a blind ranking. So I'm gonna call out an artist, and there's 10 artists, and you just got to rank them out of 10.
Okay.
You're obviously not gonna know which one's next. That's the whole point of it. And they're all rap artists. So
Oh damn.
yeah. But then I'll be the judge of who does better, who gets the better lineup. So
Is it 1 to 10, Tom?
1 to 10. Yeah. So just tell me where you'd put them out of 10. So first one we're gonna take it away with is Travis Scott.
Great.
Yeah, but Travis Scott is 3.
You mean from 1 to 10, top 10? Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with the same top 3 too.
Right. All right. Next up, we got Lil Baby.
6.
Yeah, I'll put it up there, man. I haven't heard of him, so I put number 7.
7. Cool. Where are we going? Tory Lanez.
5.
5.
Number 6. 6. I put a 6.
Cool, guys. Come on. Where are we? Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, that is a tough one, bro. We gotta be careful what we say here, man.
But you don't know what's coming yet, Anton. Is it?
I mean, but the thing is, like, a lot of people think that this guy is the best of the best, because of how many Grammys he has and stuff.
For sure.
Um,
For me, this is down to personal opinion. He is incredible. I prefer Travis Scott's music, so for that reason, I'm going to put him 4.
Josh, you're putting Kendrick in 4.
I know I'm not paid for that. I'm going to get.
yeah, you're gonna get burned, bro. I'm gonna put it second. I'm gonna put it second because like you said, I don't know what's on the list. It could be an F. I like an F better than but
All right. Quavo from Migos.
From Migos.
Have I taken 5 Westwell?
You have.
Put him 4 then.
You've also taken 4.
Have I?
Yeah. You just put Kendrick in 4.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, I've messed up already. Well, he's going to have to go 7th then.
7th.
Have I taken 6?
You have, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to have to go 7th. I quite like Quavo.
Have I taken 6?
You have. You got 5 available.
Yeah, let's put it on 5, man. I think you're good. Yeah.
I prefer Anton's 1 to 10 already. We're only halfway through. Oh.
Following closely behind, Offset from Migos.
Oh.
Well, he's going to have to go 8. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, you don't have a chance, man. I prefer Quavo more than Offset, so I'll put it on 8. Did I take 8? I think. No, I don't know if I take.
You've got 8. That's fine.
I'll put it on 9 then. Yeah.
Future.
Oh, maybe we get in the whole team.
9.
9.
What have I got, Wes? I've got 1 and 10 left.
You've got 1, 2, and 10 left.
1, 2, and 10.
Anton's got 1, 4, and 9 and 10 left.
I'll put this guy on a 9. Just because he mumbled a lot. Just saying, man.
21 Savage.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Two.
I'll put it on 10, man. I wouldn't put it right on the top.
I got only two, so I'm going to.
You've got top or bottom left, Josh, and then Anton, you got 1 and 4 left. So next up, we're going to put J. Cole.
It's got to be one.
Yeah.
From what?
Yeah, I mean, you have to put it on 1 because you have nothing left against. This guy took a song down against Kendrick. I don't know if you remember that. He dissed him and then took it down. I have to put it on 4th, man, just because of that.
And then last up, we have the boy, Drake.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna take number 1 for me, man. I wouldn't put it number 1, but I think that's what I got left. And it's crazy that I'm putting Drake before Kendrick. Like, I'll get burned more than you, man.
Bro, Drake has to go 10 on my list.
Drake is 10 on your list, Josh. I think Anton smashed that there. Drake, Kendrick, Travis Scott, J. Cole, Quavo, Tory Lanez, Lil Baby, Offset, Future, 21 Savage. Yeah, I think that's
Damn.
Anton.
This game, so I hope all the people that give us stick this week, last week, I hope they play along at home and they understand how tough it is.
Man, that is a tough top 10. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Right, this week the music marketing of the week goes to The Weeknd. For his use of AI, he wanted to find for his new music kind of the future of how people were going to kind of do it. He wanted marketing that's not been done before. So he partnered with tech platforms, Spotify, Amazon, to launch an interactive AI-driven experience where fans could chat with an AI version of himself, which was crazy, through a portal. It would respond like a bell, so his moods, his tone, his lyrics. It was a very cinematic experience, just like they bringing the music videos to life. And it really kind of went on after hours, that album, and how he wanted to change and try something new. And you wanted people to be really immersive in this storytelling. He actually got inspiration from Marvel, and that's kind of where he went with it. He had a real control of this. It wasn't just his team doing it; it was his vision that they put to make real life. And AI generated visual and filters that people could use was massively important to the success of how it went. He was one of the first on the major scale, him and Travis Scott, to do a real AI virtual concert. Travis Scott did his on Fortnite, and the Weeknd did it from his own platform, which was absolutely incredible. And the exclusive merch and NFTs dropped during the event, which worked massively because it was really fun. It was emotional. But the tips for musicians walking away from this is you can literally build your own universe. It's not just a release. Let tech amplify your vibe, not replace it. Give fans that kind of agency, let them interact, not just observe. And that mystery was great, that he teased, he hinted, he built lore. And AI really pushed this forward, which I think a lot of artists will take inspiration from. We're going to move on to the song listens and reviews when you get the guys to take a listen. So you guys at home will upload your music, your singles from Spotify, and I obviously get the guys to take a listen. They mute themselves, take a listen, and they let know your honest thoughts and feedback. So the first one I've got you guys to check out is Beth Hanaway. I'll put it in the chat box for you guys to take a look, and the song is called I Can't See. So Anton and Tom are going to mute themselves, go away, take a listen, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So this song, what can we say? This is all about battling back and forth with your mental health. So a very important topic Beth is mentioning here, and it's the effects that has. The top wheel question about the music industry they'd like to be talked about on the podcast is the effect of the press's over-involvement in the lives of influential people, how it is normalizing stalking behaviors. It's a great point. Like, we get shown something through the press and we believe it, whether it's propaganda or it's political or it's something like influential people and kind of normalizing these kind of behaviors. It's a very strange time. This hasn't happened before. And I think if we're going to relate it back to the music industry, it is down to opinion. There's going to be two sides to every coin, but some people argue freedom of speech. Some people would say it's normalizing very scary behavior that isn't right and doesn't fit society and what we do. And the impact of social media is insane. Like the average TikTok users on the platform for 147 minutes a day, which is absolutely unbelievable. And it is going to impact our lives. And I say this to artists all the time, like, if you want to build more of a fan base, if you want to get more people to shows, everyone spends all their time scrolling. That's what people are doing. That's where you're going to impact them. So it's really important that they're making the most of that. Right, I'm going to ask Anton and Tom to come back for me. I'm hoping they've had a little listen to the single I Can't See by Beth Hanaway. Fellas, what do we think of that single?
I mean, yeah, it's very good. Like I like the piano starting. She's got a really good voice. And it's a good topic that you touching. Was it about mental health, right?
Yes, Anton, with topics like that, do you always try and plan a song around that to get the buy-in from the fans? Or is it something that it's just very natural to you? You don't think about it. If it happens, it happens.
I think because I also struggle with anxiety, clinical anxiety, my whole life. I guess in a sense, I am able to see what other people are struggling to, but what I'm also struggling with, I can put into a song, and I can relate to what you said. A lot of people are using their phones every day, and there's a lot of, you call it freedom of speech. There's a lot of hate as well on social media. Anybody can comment whatever they want, whenever they want to, and even us for artists, it's tough to deal with this. To have a really strong positive mindset, and when we put something out there and we get comments, hate comments.
And the worst thing is with the hate comments is 90% of those comments people would never make in person. They'd never say it.
Yeah,
Because they're behind a screen, behind a
very much.
keyboard, they feel like it's acceptable and it's not. So there is a bad side to social media, 100%. And it's important. I like the fact you're open, you talk about your mental health and the songs you write, and that's important for people to connect to. Westwell, was that a song that you would listen to after the podcast, or was it not for you?
Oh no, 100%. That was beautifully put together. The levels of everything was just sort of like spot on. From the piano sounded so crisp, and then all the other sort of elements to it were just expertly put together. And I liked how it changed. The first verse, and then into sort of like, I guess, like the chorus, and then it picked up again. So for later on, it's like well written. Like it's not just about putting lyrics together and then putting all the other bits in behind it. It's like well thought through, and it takes you places. And I thought that was really good.
Love
some
brilliant feedback though. Brilliant feedback.
Yeah, great songwriting. Yeah, definitely. Like he said, it kicks in when it's supposed to. It has the segments where it's supposed to. It's a good song. Great voice
Absolutely.
too.
Right, next one is Kadax with Infinite Love. The boys will mute themselves and go take a listen, and I will tell you more about it. So, this song is about how love is limitless and has no boundaries at all. It goes beyond just relationships. The topical question about the music industry they want to be talked about is collaborations and the power of it. I don't think enough artists collaborate, and I mean that on every level. I mean that on whether it's musically on songs, whether it's teaming up for tours and gigs where each other's fans would like each other's music, songwriting, marketing. I think the more collaboration you do with people in your genre, the higher chance you're going to get seen by more people and buy in. And I feel like that's why a lot of artists do the support tours or do buy-ins for support tours. Because if you know your performance is great and you're supporting a bigger artist and you put on a great show as a support, hopefully next time you go back to that city, a lot of their fans will be your fans if you've done the job properly and you've really put it on. And I think that's a great way of doing it in the live aspect, but also online. I see there's some brilliant artists always teaming up, always commenting from the very biggest to the very smallest. And it is brilliant. I love to see it, especially when it's creative, when it's different. They had I worked with an artist in Wales, and they went to the local kebab shop, and the two biggest artists in the city had their own kebab, and they made it a competition whose would be more popular. So this little kebab shop got some great promotion, loads of people coming. The artists had, all the local no's and press kind of talking about it in the community, and it grew and grew and grew. And something so fun and obviously quite small actually turned into a major news story, which I thought was really, really clever. Really clever to do. And I like finding new, interesting ways. I think in business and in music, I love seeing more physical marketing. I'm not talking little business cards, fun, interactive ways in person people can buy in. And when I see that, I'm always really, really impressed. Well, I'm going to get the boys back and let us know what they think. Fellas, what do we think of Infinite Love?
You want to go first? I feel like we're Britain's Got Talent, bro.
I really, really enjoyed that one. Honestly, looking at the, you always make a judgment when you look at a song. I do anyway. When you see like the artwork, and like I saw like
Yep.
on the album the artwork, and I was like, this is gonna be a rogue one, but was not expecting the sound that came out and the song that came out. It starts and I was like, "Ooh, what's going on here? Is this going to be some like mid 2000s like chilled
Yeah.
house
Why
type
to
track?"
think?
Yeah. But no, like turned out it really gave me sort of like Kid Cudi sort of vibes. From yeah, really, really great. And like the way the song, like I don't know, it kind of sounds odd, but it sounds like you're almost like coming in and out of like consciousness. Like it gets a bit repetitive and a bit hypnotic through like the chorusy bits, I guess, or sort of one segment of it, and then like it'll come in with like a verse, and it seems like really crisp, and that's like sort of regaining consciousness, and then like it again goes back into the sort of quite hypnotic, dancey, and then comes back again, and yeah, I really likes that sort of that play of sort of like going between the two sort of states. So yeah, no, really well done. I like that one. I'll be listening to that
Yeah.
again.
I think I agree when I saw the artwork, like you said. It does look like this guy is coming out of the Matrix, maybe, you know?
Yeah,
That's what it looked like. But reading his bio, I can see that he's yeah. Reading his bio, I can see that he does have influence in A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd, and Kanye.
yeah,
So that track in specific, I can hear the influences from Kanye and The Weeknd as well.
yeah,
You can. It's a well put on song. I think he's trying to do his own thing as well. It's very different from what I normally listen to, but you know, I'm a fan of The Weeknd and Kanye, so it's a good track for sure.
Right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Anton, before we go, for our listeners who have really enjoyed what you've said and come across today, I want to make sure they will go follow you and stream your music and listen to you. So, what have you got exciting coming up in 2025? Obviously, tour, little bits of break. What can they get excited for?
So we are going in our first headline tour. We're gonna be hitting 5 cities. We're gonna be going to London, Brighton, Manchester. Surprisingly, it's Scunthorpe. Surprisingly, it's Scunthorpe and Somerset as well. Somerset, we're gonna be playing our first festival ever. I don't think I ever been to any festival in the UK. I actually gone to one. I was actually keeping myself from going to one until I actually managed to get one. I guess that was one of my goals. So and I'm releasing a new song next month. So if you like a Latino guy singing in English, man, or rapping in English,
To sum it up, Anton Vic,
yeah,
thank you so much for coming up. Listeners, make sure you go stream his stuff, follow him, send him weird DMs, do whatever you need to do to support him.
yeah,
He is incredible and he is going places. For everyone listening at home, whether you're a musician or a music lover, if you're a musician, whether you're selling out stadiums or still
your time. Goodbye.
see you later.